James Mack on the wave, every morning, every day. Got the 92.7, tune in, don't delay. Political news and the community updates on the morning takeover. Stream live, stay away. Like and subscribe, he got the content all the time. Share with your crew, live on YouTube, don't be shy. He's got the facts straight, never leads you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final count. From city lights to the small towns beat, bringing stories real and raw. No defeat on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block, James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat, delivering the truth, making your morning complete. Got interviews inside.
And good morning, good Thursday morning. This is the Morning Takeover, 92.7 on your FM dial. I'm James Mack, your man on the street. And as usual, we're going to have a wonderful, good show. Look out, wake up, everybody. Get your coffee, get your donuts, get everything that you need, because James Mack is on the air with the Morning Takeover, 92.7 on your FM dial, WKRA.
Share with your crew, live on YouTube, don't be shy. He's got the facts straight, never leads you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final count. From city lights to the small towns beat, bringing stories real and raw. No defeat on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block, James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat, delivering.
And a wonderful good morning to everyone. This is the Morning Takeover. I am James Mack, your man on the street, bringing you everything. I mean everything that will interest you and that will inspire you and that will give you information and inspiration. Last night, President, in a sense, passed the baton officially to his vice president, and we're going to talk about his record, some things that he has done, and his accomplishments as he goes forth. And also, I got something that's real special. That's going to, I have a special guest that's going to be coming on, talking about our mental health. Now, don't get nervous, don't get upset, because we talk about mental health, and because of we all have some times that we need to talk to someone, or we need to share things and the things that go on in our lives. Sometimes we just need to talk to somebody, or we know somebody that needs some help. We got a wonderful guest that's going to come on, and we're just going to have a wonderful show. It has really been an interesting week for us. And as we continue to go forth this week, I've got several calls yesterday about our interesting show. Nothing bad or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but people were asking Is the president really leaving? Did he leave by force or something like that? And we're not gonna drag politics all day or anything like that, but we're just going to delve into some things, and we're going to talk about our former president also, and his response that he had. And there's a lot of noise that's going around, a lot of things that are being said, and you got to sometimes clear yourself from the noise and actually just look at things for what it is. This is a real historic moment in our lives. We have things, and we have to prepare ourselves to move forward with a new leader real soon. So we're going to be just briefly just chit chatting about that. And like I said, we got a special guest coming. But let's talk about the weather. Scattered showers today. Um, they're going to remain likely across our region, within the region that we're in here at WKRA, with below normal temperatures, likely, and all. And it's we're going to have scattered showers here and there, but it's nothing that's going to be definitely serious. This is just an unsettling weather pattern that we have been experiencing for the last few days. And here in the Mid South, you never know. It might be rain, it might be something else, and you never know. But just going to be as a small chances as we approach the weekend with rain going. Uh, uh, Rain chances going down, and the temperatures will be rising back up into the 90s in along the weekend. But right now, we're going to be experiencing the mild 80s. Might hit 90 with the humidity, but we're going to be flipping the page on the calendar real soon, and August will bring back the heat. You better believe it. It's going to be hot. But right now in Oxford, it's 75 in Olive Branch, and 74 at WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial in Holly Springs and in the greater Memphis, Shelby County area. All right. Last night, we had a interesting, uh, very interesting address that was made on yesterday by the president, and as he passed off the baton to his uh, vice president, and it's just an honor to see that a person can know when it's their time to pass on, as they say, to the next generation. Uh, the vision set forth. Sometimes you start and you might not be the one that carries the race. You just run your leg of the race, and then you just, in relay, you pass the baton, and the baton has been passed. With all of the chatter and all of the things that are said and all the name calling and all of the stuff that people are saying, there's still things that go on around about us. There are things that still happen. We still have to live and navigate through our lives these challenging times that we're going through, and it's just wonderful to know that as the process goes forth, and as we make up our own individual minds, that um, as we make up our own minds about things, we have to use a level head. We have to be able to get along. We should be able to agree to disagree. And there's nothing wrong with that. We like to say good morning to everybody that's in our chat and listening on our YouTube stream, as we stream this broadcast to the many hundreds and the many thousands, those that do come in, and those of you all, y'all in the bushes. I'd like to say hello to the bushes this morning, and all of you all that are there. There are a lot of people that I might not see, or I might not be indicated, but they are listening. Hey, listen, there are a lot of new features and a lot of new things that we're going to be bringing to the morning takeover to really give you an opportunity to experience and to get some really some more good information and inspiration. We're going to be doing some things in the coming days, and we're going to also be participating in a lot of events that are getting ready. Back to school time is coming, folks, and the children are getting ready to go back to school. There are several school supply drives that are going on. The morning takeover, what we're trying to do, and it was a request that was made of me to help folks to get their school supply. Please, you believe it or not, folks, we have a lot of people that do need help. They have children, and they have people that that are that are just struggling. Some people are struggling still in this economy, and we really do need to kind of help them out. So we're going to have us a school drive. There are 25 people that we're trying to help out. That's all that they asked us for. So if you know anybody that would like to help, go to the chat and let them know that they can reach us. How we're going to get a chance to reach us. We're trying to get our email system up to par, and also a call-in telephone number. A lot of people are asking, why don't you have a call-in phone number from all over and everything? So we're working on things. And remember, as I said before, as you're building the building and you're using the blueprint, you got to go step by step by step. And we're doing that. And I'm excited because the morning takeover is going forward. And there are a lot of people, like I said, that are listening. And good morning again to everybody that's in the chat. Hello to all of you. It's just a blessing for us to be here. Don't you feel like it's a blessing? It's a blessing that you can wake up and you can start all over again. And we can express and we can go forward. Last night, like I said, the president expressed himself, and he was telling the nation that, I'm at a point after 50 years of service, after 50 years of giving of my life to this country, it's time for me to go to the House. And I think a lot of people said yes. And now that address was wonderful, and it didn't take him long. He didn't take long. He got right to the point and said, listen, I've served well. I even deserve a second term, I believe, with all of the work and the infrastructure programs and the lowering of prescription drugs and really trying to help people. And he was making the case to America and letting them know, listen, it's not that I want to bow out, but it's about time that I do. And you just got to give the man the credit, because a lot of people, like we do know, would like to hold on to power. They ain't going nowhere. You're going to have to pull them up and drag them out and everything. But it's wonderful to go and bow out, especially the job that you've done, and you say, hey, I've done my job, I've completed my task, and now it's time for me to move on to other things. Nothing wrong with saying that. And then not only am I going to move, did he say he's going to move on, but I'm going to, my recommendation to leave you in good hands. I made my decision. I made my choice. He didn't campaign. He didn't come out and say, I tell everybody in America to vote for his pick. He said, you make the decision. The decision is in our hands to whether we were going to continue with a democracy or are we going to sit back. I want to put something to you, and those of you that are listening and watching, you chime in. We're at a crucial point in our history in America. We're at a crucial point to a place. We're at a place now that we have some decisions that we have to make as a country. Are we going to sit back and allow this opportunity and this chance to just fly by? I even hear in the chatter, and I was going to a appointment on the other day, and I heard people saying, well, they dished and they said some horrible things about our president. And I had put the question to him. I said, well, what has the other person or anybody else has done that you can measure up that will be able and willing to step up to the plate? And after we got through talking and after we got through conversating, not to convince him that the president's worth was all that, or he did. There's a lot of things that I disagree with this administration. But if a person is going to bow out, folks, if a person is going to say, "Hey, I'm good," I think that another generation should come, and even a younger generation should come to carry forth the work that we're doing. I think that that's honorable, and he should be commended for what he's doing. See, a lot of people I feel, that are still not awake, as they say, and then everybody feel that when you awake, that's wrong. No, it's not wrong. We need to wake up, everybody. Teddy Pendergrass had a song that he led. He said, "Wake up, everybody." No more sleeping in bed. We got to get up off of our do nothings and get up and make a difference right where we live. We can make a difference in our own community by helping one another, by doing some things to encourage somebody. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say this ain't Sunday morning. I'm not preaching to you. I'm not giving you a sermon, but I'm trying to say that there are decent people that are out there that are not talking and backbiting and scratching eyes out and all these things. Last night also, I was reading about how despicable a person got on somebody's station and was talking about the late great Sheila Jackson Lee, a woman that gave her life in service, a woman that stepped up to the plate and served the Houston area, served and stepped up and gave her service for the country, worked in the Congress. And this person, on the eve of her passing, had some harsh words. I can't find it. I was trying to find that clip, but I don't even really want to play the clip. There's some things I'm just not going to entertain. And we got to grow up sometime. And this person was on there talking about the late Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. They're preparing for her memorial and everything. And that person got on and said some foul things. Listen, folks, we can be decent. We need to be decent. Even if I disagree with you, I'm not going to attack you, even though I know that you might be, somewhere in left field somewhere. That don't mean that I'm going to go out and attack your family and attack you and that's just me speaking. Everybody's not me. So, they said it's what's fair in love and war. We ought to be able to confront each other, but we should be decent enough, and we should be decent enough. That's what I want to say. Decent enough to treat each other a little bit better. We go to church every Sunday morning. Yeah, we do. A lot of us, we go to church and we sit there and we listen to what we need to listen to. And do we really take in consideration the things that are being said? Do we practice what we practice? And I say that because I hear people that say, "I'm a Christian, but then such and such and such and so, and I'm this and I'm not preaching to you." You got to practice what you preach. You got to practice love. You got to practice charity. Charity begins at home and spreads abroad. And we need to be able to practice that. And this lady just talked about Representative Sheila Jackson Lee like she was a nobody. Folks, we gotta really just get ourselves together. That's just some schoolyard type thing that people are doing, and it's sad. It's really sad, and that's one of the reasons that I said that I was talking to our wonderful guest that's going to be coming real soon about people's mental health. There's some people that really need some help. It's some people that really are in crisis. There's some people that are really out there that really need to go see somebody, a professional of some kind. And with the stress and the strain and the things that are going on in our lives, we really need to seek help. There's help out there, and we're going to get that. It's been a lot for us in this year. A lot of things that are going on. We were talking about a story on yesterday, and it has caught fire. I wasn't the only one that was reporting on it, on the tragic unalivement of the young lady in in Illinois. And as we were listening to the clip on yesterday, what went into this officer's mind when this unalivement happened? What was going on what did he interpret when the person says, "I rebuke you"? And he sat there and said, "No, you won't. I will do this. I'll do that." And not understanding. I think that there was a disconnect somewhere. And I said to them, if a person can lose themselves like that, it's just really tragic. And we're going to be talking about our mental health, how we can help our family members. There's some people that we know, our friends, there are people around about us that knows that may need some kind of assistance. And there's some assistance for you, especially here in the Mid-South area. You know, they're cutting the mental health the programs, and they're cutting things, and we really need those programs restored, and we really need to be able to give people an opportunity and a chance to get the help that they need. Again, I'd like to say good morning to everyone that's viewing and listening to us. I said what I said. I like to say good morning to Sharon Reed, to Karen Cox, all of you, all that are here, to Bernadine, to all of you, all that are here that listening, and those of you that might not want your name mentioned. I'm not trying to mention your name, but I want to thank you all for being a part of this. We're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to come on with we're going to continue with what we're doing. You're listening to the Morning Takeover with James, your man on the street. Wait a minute. WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We'll be right back, folks. Right.
The truth, making your morning complete. Got interviews inside from coast to coast. A voice you can trust. He'll never boast. James Mack on the wave every morning, every day. Got the 92.7. Tune in, don't delay. Political news and the commute update. Updates on the morning takeover. Stream live, stay awake. Like and subscribe. He got the content all the time. Share with your crew. Live on YouTube, don't be shy. He's got the facts straight. Never leads you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final call. From city lights to the small towns beat, bringing stories real and raw. No defeat on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block. James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat. Delivering the truth, making your morning complete. Got interviews inside from coast to coast. A voice you can trust. He'll never boast. James Mack on the wave every morning, every day. Got the 92.7. Tune in, don't delay. Political news and the commute.
We're back on the Morning Takeover, WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. I'm James Mack, your host. And today, as we have each and every day, we try to inform you and to inspire you and to continue to move forward to everyone that you can reach out to give information and inspiration. We're grateful for another opportunity to come into your homes, whether it's in your cars, your places of business, wherever you are listening. I appreciate you getting up every day and sharing with us and being a part of this, the morning takeover. Listen, we have a blueprint and we're building each and every day. I am grateful for the committed and loyal listeners that listen and understand what we're doing. And we'd like to welcome, hey, Yvonne, we see Yvonne Moore has come and say hello to us. Hey, good morning to you. And we're just grateful for you being here. As I was saying, we're building, and we're going to get bigger and we're going to get better as we come forth. Just like our theme song, our intro music, we want to thank Uh, Tony Joyce Media for that wonderful, wonderful gift that you hear each and every day. I like our theme song. I think a lot of people do listen, but we're going to have to stretch it a little bit. We're going to have to shorten it because we do have other things that will be coming up during our breaks and everything. We're a new show. And there's no excuse, but we're a new show. And as we're finding our footing and as we're continuing to do what we do, I want to make sure that the morning takeover gives everyone an opportunity to be able to experience and to get the information that they need and the inspiration. So as we continue, we're going to be able to implement our improvements and bring things up to par. I like to thank WKRA's staff, our president and chairperson, CEO, Miss Autry, and her staff, who has been very patient with us as we develop and we get the morning takeover and put it in a position where it needs to be. Also, I am starting probably on next week uh, to launch a campaign. I'm not running for anything, no political office whatsoever. I'm going to launch a voter registration drive. Yes, me, the man on the street. I'm going to the streets in my vicinity and in the region, and my goal is to register 1,000 people. Yes, I said it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm going to do my very best. And I'm gonna have to pray, to make sure that I get myself together. I will be in various places, and I will make those announcements. We need to get our citizens registered to vote. I'm not doing this for any political party or any political affiliation. No, this is the morning takeover community event that I will have. I'll set up a table somewhere. I'm going to sit there and I'm just going to put my straw hat on. You know, it's going to be hot down here in the Mid South. I put my hat on and I will sit down at a table. I'm going to register people to vote. There are young people that just graduated high school. That are getting ready to depart to go to college. Don't let your college age child, college age nephew, niece, grandchild, or whatever the case may be, leave without having voter registration. Another thing that I want to emphasize is this. There are a lot of young people that are leaving and going to various universities and of higher learning. Make sure that they get absentee ballots or the ballots that they need to, that's what they have when you're not in the region to vote. And make sure that we're going to have to help them out to make sure that their vote counts. They're going to there's people that are dedicated doing any and everything that they can to keep people from voting. Don't stop or let anybody stop you from voting. Brings me to a particular person in history that tried their best, that lives right here in the Mid-South in this region, Miss Fannie Lou Hamer. And we're going to do a little piece on her too one day soon. People need to know their history. Miss Fannie Lou Hamer, a woman that had worked sharecropped and farmed and did everything that she does as a woman in the South, and she decided that she wanted to register to vote, and that this movement was going forth, and all of the things that she went through just to get people to vote. You would be surprised. Don't take it for granted. Somebody had to step up to the plate. Somebody had to do something to to pave the way, whether it was Dr. King, Medgar Evers, or the late great Fannie Lou Hamer. Wonderful woman. You know something? I'm gonna say this, and some men, they ain't quite there, right? They're not quite there, and they have this problem even about the vice president becoming the nominee. It was the women of the civil rights movement. Yes, I'll say it again. It was the women that were the backbone of the civil rights movement. They made the lunches. They bandaged the heads of people that were attacked viciously by dogs and water hoses and all the things that the people that were in the movement were doing, cooking dinner and making their homes available for civil rights workers. And it was the woman that kept things together, went to the cotton fields and picked cotton, and then had to turn right around after a hard day's labor and cook for a whole family. Listen, it was the woman that goes out to work every day that we see, that go out and work and have a family and try to juggle all of these things that they have to do. We got to take our hats off to the woman, and to the black woman. We really have to take our hats off to them. And I give you ladies a standing ovation. And there was a song. See, a lot of y'all don't know about all that. I'm not going. I love my age. I love who I am. Just because I'm almost at that milestone in my life. I'm old enough to know that we need to have a greater appreciation for the women that have stepped up to the plate, these warrior women that have stepped up. I saw something that was real interesting, and it was a Red Cross ad, and it was a woman handing someone some water or handing them something to eat during the time of the war. And we need to salute the women that are in the civil rights movement. So my dedication that I'm going to do, 1,000 people, get ready. I'm coming. I'm not going to resist. I'll be at libraries, the Walmarts. I'll be in the shopping areas. Just me. No, I'm not looking for attention. I think I can find 1,000 people by now and the election time or the deadline for voting. So if you see the man on the street in the area, you see me standing there, don't be afraid to say hello. Now, don't come in there starting no trouble. Now, I ain't gonna have all that. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing to me. But there's some people that don't care for progressive type talk. But that's okay. I'm going to stand my ground. We need to do this. This is a very crucial election, and I'll tell you more about that campaign later. I said what I said. I see you, and it's so good to see you. That's one of our loyal listeners that have always stood by us, and I want to thank you. They've been talking about her. They said, "Where does she come from? Where does she come from?" I say, "Well, she's special people," and they talk about Miss Moore and all of y'all. They talk about y'all, so y'all got people that are really rooting for you. This is a community. We're a community of people that I wanted to make sure that had an opportunity to listen and to express themselves. We want you to express yourself in the chat. I have, and as we continue, I know that those of you that are driving and at work and listening on the radio, that you might have an opportunity to do at this time to to express yourselves. But those of you that are on our YouTube channel that can see, I dropped a link in the chat that you can have. Like and subscribe to our channel. Like and subscribe. They say, James, you never talk about liking and subscribe. Like and subscribe to our channel. I ain't gonna hurt you. Like and subscribe. Go to the Your Man on the Street, James Mack, Your Man on the Street YouTube page, and like and subscribe. You can see some of our earlier shows that we have done. They're there, and we're just trying to promote inspiration and give you information here on this station. There's a lot of things getting ready to happen. So hold on to your hat. Stick with us as we go forth. And like I said, inside in the chat, there is a link that you can come through. We're going to, as I said today, we have a interesting guest that we're expecting real soon to give us some great information that you can use. I like to celebrate people. I like to celebrate people where they are. I like for people to know who's who and where and what's what. If you have a business, you have a service that you offer, don't be afraid to advertise. The problem is a lot of times we don't advertise our businesses. We don't want to, or we might not have the means or the necessary to do so. We're going to make sure that you be able to get in touch with us, and we would love to be your advertising agents. Trust me, we got a plan and we got something for you, and uh, we'll be able to set something up for you real soon. I tell you what, I'm grateful to always have some of our listeners that participate. I want to thank Mr. Lee on yesterday who participated with us in our program, and I want to thank a wonderful person again. I said what I said. Various platforms that she shows on. A real wonderful listener with her and Miss Yvonne. They get together and wave at each other and say hi, and Sharon, them, all them, they get together and say hi. It's just good to see that you can have friends. But then I'm just grateful for her being a part of the morning takeover, giving of her time to come. Good morning. I said what I said. Good morning to you.
Good morning, James, and good morning to our listeners.
Good morning. See, I've been doing all this talking and everything. I said I hadn't got no coffee or anything, but that's okay. With the morning takeover, you got to do what you have to do. And I just wanted to thank you for all of your support and the support that you have given to our show. Let me ask you something. Did you get a chance and the opportunity to see the address, the nation's address from the president last night? Let me hear your views about it.
I did. And I thought it was a great speech. And I feel like he still, is a little bit under the weather. But, he did his best. And I feel like our president had to give that speech because he was trying to define his legacy. It's probably going to be like one of his last speeches that he gave us. And it was wonderful to see him just to pass the baton to Kamala Harris. And he didn't endorse her, but he definitely let us know that he was passing the baton to her so that a new generation can come in and try to run the country. And it's time for a change. All this time, we've been having a lot of older Caucasian men running the country. And I think it's time for a change. And I think the country feel like it's time for a change because when Kamala came out and said that she was going to be the nominee, and when President Biden stepped down, it electrified the country. Everybody's very excited about the election all over again because it was in stalemate when he was the nominee. And we do thank him for his 50 years of service. He's given almost his entire adult life. 50 years is a long time to serve your country. And I appreciate the service that he's provided us.
That's
Great.
and when you said that, 50 years, some people retire after 20, 25. I know some people that retired 30 years or more. This man, 50 years, that's three-fourths of my life. I ain't saying I'm 100 or nothing though, but I was what? Whatever. I was a youngster when he began his service, and I was just touched by his sincerity. His family was in the room. Usually when the president is doing an address like that, he does have his aides and people that are there, but his family was there on the sidelines and everything. Just touched me, and they were sitting there like, we not sad, we ain't mad at anybody, but look, we get a chance. We started out with you. His wife, she said, she started out with him on this road, even when he had the tragedy that happened to him earlier in his career with his first wife had passed away along with one of his children, and the stress, the strain. God help us. Could you imagine what he was feeling? And he still took the oath of office and said, "Hey, I got my family. I'm here at this hospital." He was at the hospital when he took his oath. He didn't take it at Capitol Hill or at no big party or a big setting or around big camp. He said, "If you want to see me sworn in, swear me in here at this hospital because my children are here." Talk about him as a person. I said a little bit. Give people a little observation about what you think about and how you feel about Mr. Joe Biden.
I feel like he's been extraordinary because not only did he serve his country, he also made sure that his family was okay. I remember when he started running and he was telling us the story about the tragedy that he experienced. And when his first wife and one of his kids, were unalived in a car wreck. And he had to endure that grief, but he also had to be a father, and in the midst of all of that, he found time to serve the country. Not many people will give themselves like that. A lot of times, with a tragedy, something like that happening, people will just give up and go into a shell and just feel sorry for themselves. But not President Biden. He picked himself up and he just ran with it. He actually used to ride the train from his where is he from? Delaware.
From Delaware. Yeah, that's interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah,
That was real interesting. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
he would ride the train from Delaware to Washington to go to work every day. And I think he said it
Mm,
was like a 2 hour ride that he would take that journey every day. And he would serve his country and then he would come back and then be a father to his kids and a husband to Jill. And he's always said that Jill has been very instrumental in his life. And she said it
yes.
also. She helped him, raise his kids and helped him with his career. So, so that he can um, have the career that he's had. So she's been by his side for those whole 50 years also.
Mm. Well, I wanted to say something about our wonderful First Lady, Jill Biden. She was a teacher, is still teaching. I think she has some ties to academia. She continued to keep her job. She says, "I'm not going to be stuck in one place. Y'all not going to keep me in this bubble. I'm going. I have students," and she taught students English as a second language. She was helping people. To prepare themselves to enter into the United States lawfully, that wanted to learn the language, which is English, and um, she took out her time to say, "I'm going to keep my day job. I know I'm the first lady, but a strong woman, a woman that has." I think has an impeccable integrity, and not just she hasn't been a silent person, but she has really stood by the president. And to see her, it was a very emotional. She was real emotional, and I would be too. You sit there and you say, "Man, man, we back and forth. We see DC every day, and for him to be to take the Amtrak every day, go home every day, commute every day. So for those of you all that catch the bus and catch the trains all over. I come from Chicago. It take you. You get off at 5. You get home, dog, on there. It'd be almost 7. And don't let the snow get you. God help you. You got to delay. But every day, this man got on the train and went back home, took care of his family, and was a father and had to listen to what their days were like. And imagine a day in Washington, D.C., dealing with Congress and dealing with all of the things that he had to deal with on a consistent basis, and just rode to work. "Hey, Joe, how you doing? Hey," just like, some people you see on the bus. I used to take the bus to work. I know a lot of people are in your cars right now, and I know you might be in some rush hour traffic, but, to be able to commute and talk to your old friends and say hello. He was just a down to earth person. He is a down to earth person, and just to go through the cares and the everyday life that he had to go through, it's just remarkable. And we just take our hats off to him. This is going to be an interesting campaign. I said what I said, and there's a lot of chatter that's going on, and people are still got it in their head that they got a problem with a woman. I asked Lee yesterday, and he gave a wonderful, wonderful response to it. I want to hear what you have to say in not just defense, but why do people have a problem with a woman being in power and being in authority?
Well, let me just correct something that I just said. He actually came from Scranton, Pennsylvania. He was traveling from Scranton to Washington
No,
over
no,
there.
no. That's where he was. He was born in
He
Scranton,
was
but you
born
were
in Scranton.
correct. He did
Oh,
he
okay, in
did he
Delaware.
did commute from Delaware. See, Delaware is right there by the D.C. area, and it's
Oh,
about
okay.
2 hours by train. You're exactly right. You were correct. You were correct. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to make sure I give out correct information because you don't want to give out the wrong information. But as far as women go, women have always had a hard time. If you remember, it took them, America. It took America until the 1920s for us to even actually be able to vote because we were just like slaves. We were not considered in the Constitution. The Constitution was written for only for white men. It wasn't including women, and it didn't include the slaves. And so, anytime you're not included in something, you have to make yourself known. So, women have always had to fight. We had to fight for voting rights. We had to fight for reproductive rights, and we helped fight with the civil rights. And so, this is no exception to the rule. It's Women have always been considered a second class citizen, and it's all about power. And the men just don't want to give up power. And now that we're in the year of 2000, in the 2024, some of that is still in the back of the minds of some men. They just don't feel like
Mhm.
we're worthy enough. But in actuality, it's the women that has really, like you said, helped carry the country, because when they in World War II, the women had to get up and go to work and work in the manufacturing. They have to help make the things for the war. Most of the men were gone, so the women had to keep the country running. Women had to help with the civil rights. Women had to carry the banner for reproductive rights. So we've always been in the forefront as far as fighting for rights and civility,
Yes.
but we don't get the credit that is deserved to us. And so now
Well,
it's our time to shine.
yeah, you're going to definitely, and you said something that was real interesting, that, we don't give credit to where it's due. And like I said, listen, sisters, it's your time. It is your time. I saw a report yesterday of the vice president going to Indianapolis, Indiana, and addressing a sorority. And I was listening, and there was someone that I knew that was affiliated that was in the room, and they said that they were having difficulties with selling the banquet tickets. They were having a open banquet when they found out that, and the news hit that the vice president was coming. They had over 5,000 people in the room, not including the people that was trying to get a ticket, the hottest ticket in town on that day. They said people were waiting outside in their, I think they're the Zetas. They were outside, and they were, if I'm wrong, somebody tell me about it, because I don't know much about the sorority fraternity system. And they were out there waiting, and they had their signs, and everybody was looking good and everything. And I think that the vice president is an AKA, and they all, not a rivalry, but they do great charity work. They do outreach in the community and everything, and it is a wonderful opportunity for them to for them to show their give their community service and everything. And it was just interesting to see the excitement that was going on and to see the exuberance that was going on. Tell us a little bit about anything that you have about the news that was given, the reaction of the people. What is your opinion about it, and what's your feeling about all of this excitement that's going on about the vice president?
It's explosive. They actually had to change venue because the first place that they were going to do the rally at, it wasn't big enough, and they actually had to get a bigger building because they had more people than they anticipated. And as far as the sororities go, and Kamala Harris, the sororities have always stuck together. Anytime they meet up every year, and they meet several times out the year, so it's like a sisterhood. And so I just feel like Kamala has electrified the country because, like I said, the election was stale. It definitely was stale. A lot of people didn't like neither Biden nor Trump. And there's nothing wrong with President Biden. He's done a great job. But like I said, people were just tired of old white men. I'm sorry, but people were tired of that because it doesn't reflect the country anymore. That's not what the country is made of. The country is a very diverse country, and Joe Biden even said it in one of his speeches. If he didn't say it last night, he did say it last night. He said his administration reflects America.
Yes.
And that's what the problem is. Yeah, Congress do not want to reflect America. They want to reflect one nationality only, which is Caucasian, and they're trying to hold on to power. And so they're going to do any and everything they can to hold on to power. Meanwhile, Kamala is trying to move the country forward, and Trump is trying to take the country back. And so the women are gonna, the women have inspired everybody. Kamala has inspired everybody. She's already made history. And I think her campaign is going to be bigger than even Obama's campaign.
Right. Well, I wanted to say that, there are various things that are going on. There's definitely an electricity in the air. And we just let's ride this wave that we're going. Listen, we have our guests coming up next. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to The Morning Takeover with James Mack, your man on the street. Also, we're grateful for our wonderful guest that comes on quite often, which we really do thank you for. Want you to stick around for this next segment. Also, we're going to be talking about your mental health. What are the services available? What are the things that we need to look for? And we're going to talk about this crisis that we have in mental health. We got our guest standing by. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to The Morning Takeover, 92.7 on your FM dial. We'll be right back. I guarantee you we'll be back. Don't think we're going to leave. We ain't going nowhere. You go get your coffee. You go get everything that you need. We'll be right back. Stick around with us.
Updates on The Morning Takeover. Stream live, stay awake. Like and subscribe. He got the content all the time. Share with your crew. Live on YouTube. Don't be shy. He's got the facts straight, never leads you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final call.
All right, we're back on the morning takeover 92.7 on your FM dial. I'm James Mack. I am your host. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here, to be on the morning takeover, to inform you and to inspire you to go forward in your life. Listen, we have a lot of things that are getting ready to go on here. We have some new sponsors, we have some new segments, and our blueprint is out. We have our hard hats on. We're doing the things that we need to do to get things together, and I'm just happy that there are people that I know that have opportunity in my life to meet. And our next guest, I'm so happy that she's here this morning. Yeah, I'm excited because I've been looking forward to this interview for a long time. Y'all hear her in the back. I don't know if she's getting a script together and all those other things, but that's okay. We're grateful to have a wonderful new friend to our show that has given her life also to public service. Listen, our guest, Miss Christine Williams, has been in law enforcement and corrections for over 28 years. She served recently, and she has recently retired. Well, I know she's happy. Retired from corrections and from law enforcement. Y'all hearing that? She said, see, she can sit back and eat waffles and things like that, go to breakfast with her friends and all those other good things, and go do some shopping. But she's a certified law enforcement officer with a great educational background in criminal justice. She has extensive training in all aspects of law enforcement and corrections. She's active and very active in the law enforcement and corrections, and she's also a certified mental health first aid instructor. And she has experience in public safety, helping adults and youth. Certified state instructor. She's certified by the Mississippi Board of Standards and Training for Law Enforcement and Crisis Intervention Instructor. She instructs law enforcement officers how to handle situations with those that have trouble with their mental health problems and things. Christine is also an approved consultant with the Office of Justice Programs. In the past 18 years, she has been very active in the mental health community, assisting persons with mental health issues to get the necessary help that they need when they become a part of the criminal justice system. She's involved in various community organizations such as NAM. Did I get that right? She's gonna get me right. It's NAMA.
NAMI.
And
NAMI.
Okay. See, I told y'all. See, I got some people. I said what I said. I know you hear. Y'all all see. I like my people that I have around me because they will correct me, and that's good. That's good. That's good. Hold on now. Let's see. And she's been involved. She has involvement at the American Probation and Parole Association Training Institutes, currently serving as the representative for the state of Mississippi for that organization. She was recently approved as a consultant with the Department of Justice for law enforcement and corrections. So y'all don't bother her if you see her, these, crooks and things that they doing certain things, y'all going to answer to her because she carries a big stick, if you know what I mean. Christine is also the creator of Leading by Example. It is a 4-hour workshop that provides awareness to mental health and mental health disorders and community resources. She helps people with all of those resources. The workshop was recently approved by the Mississippi Board of Standards of Law Enforcement for Continual Education. She's been very active in the community. Everybody knows her in this region and in this area. And as she said before, she's been on a media tour. She stopped by us, and she would go to the big boys and everybody. And she came back here and said, "I'm gonna don't be nice to my friend and come on over here to WKRA 92.7 on your FM. Now come and see the morning takeover. But she's been everywhere. A dear friend of mine, real special person. Christine, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
It is good to have you on the morning takeover. I know your friends and people are listening and everything. So shout out to all of Christine's friends and everything, and all of y'all that's listening. And I know that we're in for a treat. Listen, in your bio, and knowing you in law enforcement, and knowing that you have been with the state of Mississippi in that capacity in various roles and various leadership positions. Tell us a little bit about you and your background a little bit.
Well, I'm the personal part. I'm the baby of 9, and don't you start on me, Mr. James.
I said that.
I come from a little small town on the west bank of Mississippi River, Port Gibson, Mississippi. I'm just proud to be from Port Gibson. I'm grateful for what was placed and instilled in me from my teachers, the family, just what they poured over into me. I thought they was mean to me, but now I'm at the age of 53. I'm very appreciative of what they, they held my feet
ain't
to
no
the fire.
53. You ain't no 53. I don't know why y'all always playing around like y'all 53 and all that old foolishness. You don't do.
I got
Listen,
the proof.
on the screen now. On the screen, those of you all that are listening and watching on YouTube, I put her picture. I say you thought I was gonna put your picture. I put her picture up. Now y'all tell me if this is a lady talking about she 53 and everything.
I
Tell
am
her, but
53.
go ahead.
But
Yes.
I'm my background, I started out in law enforcement up under the late Sheriff Malcolm E. McMillan at the Hinds County Sheriff Department 29 years ago, almost 29 years ago, working in booking as a deputy, and just climbed the ranks, one of the youngest supervisors there. And then from there, I went on to the Department of Corrections, where I ended and stayed there until for over right at 26 years. Is when I left there, retired to go into doing my leading by example, mental health awareness full time. I had a great career. It was wonderful there. I met people I would have never met before. My latter part of the career, I actually was going into the facilities doing mental health awareness for the persons that was in the Reentry Academy. And those are the people coming back into your community. I went to every prison in this state up under the supervision of Department of Corrections and did that 4-hour class with them on mental health awareness, what resources available in the community, because, to me, that is a lost population that sometimes we just kind of, just they don't exist. And unfortunately, we got to realize the people here, they still coming back home. So it was very fulfilling for me to end my career doing what I really love to do. So after that, I decided to go on and do this full time, because I saw a need for us, and especially within the African American community. And with this being Minority Mental Health Month, and when Mr. James said you need to come on the show, you can't tell anybody know him, you can't tell him no. So
That's right. That's right.
I'm just grateful to spread my horizon, spread the message out, because we never know who we're reaching. We all got something going on, because statistically, pre-COVID, and I say pre-COVID, 1 in 5 of us was dealing with something. After COVID, 1 in 4. The numbers have changed. The data has changed. It went from 1 in 5 to 1 in 4. But I'm gonna break it down a little bit closer to home. Statistically, 1 in 3 African Americans who struggle with mental health never, and I say never, receive the appropriate treatment. And that falls on 2 reasons.
Let me ask you this though. And why is it that people resist, or they have a problem with seeking help and seeking assistance, or trying to reach out to to try to find some kind of way to get that type of service? Why is it so difficult in the Black community? And I'm going to talk about what you did in the system. But why is it so hard for our community to get the or to participate or get the help that we need?
Well, Mr. James, it goes back to this first thing. It's the stigma that we have placed on each other. That stigma when it comes to mental health. If we could all just be quite honest, we remember some family member, it was something wrong with them. And I was telling somebody, as a small child, I remember going to some family member's house, and they had this person sectioned off in a room, and nobody wanted to deal with them. You know, it's almost like you padlock this person away. We have never really dealt with it. And I have a presentation called The Shame of Mental Health that I do. I actually just did it at the State Baptist Convention for youth leaders all over the state. And I take a deep dive into why we don't. And I go all the way back to slavery without giving out my whole presentation, because somebody may want me to come do it for their church. That's my disclaimer. But I take that deep dive back into, you know, why we don't. You think about, we have suppressed so much as a race that mental health has been suppressed also. You know, it's just a shame about it. It's almost like if I say something about mental, somebody think I got some kind of plague or contagious disease, like it's going to jump off of me and jump over there on you. Right. You know, that's how some of it. And then we go back. I'm a true Christian. I believe in the Lord. I know there's a God, but sometimes people need a little medication or some therapy to get them functionable to where they can be a thriving person in society. And us tend to want to pray everything out. Prayer do change this thing, but prayer may be leading you to get you some help somewhere else. And so I'm a firm believer that you can have some mental health issues and still live a healthy Christian life. But we got to get to that point. You know, our churches is the pillar of our community. And when our churches turn a blind eye to this, then we have an issue. And I'm just grateful. Let me go and shout my church out now. Pastor Chauncey L. Jordan Sr. I'm grateful to God for a man of God like that doesn't have a problem with us coming before the congregation, putting on a presentation. We're getting ready to have an entire mental health workshop. And that's all it's going to be that day. Is I'm recruiting all mental health people gonna come to our church. We're gonna sit there, from counselors, from doctors to services, and that's all it's gonna be, a mental health fair. And we're gonna focus strictly on mental health. And it's not just for African Americans. Whoever may need it will be welcome to it. So it's things like that until we start making a conservative effort to talk about this, like we do cancer, blood pressure, diabetes, we have autism, we got every kind of thing it is. We got to start making that effort to put it on mental health, because if you're not right in the mind, your diabetes, your high blood pressure, nothing else is going to work for you.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, and I'm gonna tell your pastor. Look here, you better shout out Christine. Don't do it you know how they do it. Stand up, Sister William.
Oh, she
was on the radio and everything. I want to say good morning to you have see already you got fans. You got Carrie's sister had said good morning. She's here from the great city of New Orleans. She's shouting out to us. We like to say good morning to her. We see you down there. Welcome to the family. I wanted to say something to you because I have seen your work. I've seen what you do. I've seen your dedication, and I know your dedication to this effort. In the penal system, there are, and Mississippi is notoriously known, no effect on your agency or the people that work in MDOC. Hey, all of y'all, I don't want to see none of y'all coming at me about that. See, y'all leave me alone. Anyway, but in the penal system, and I'm really serious, there are people that are arrested and they are incarcerated, maybe not because, and they may have done some things, and they get into the system. And I find it that there are limited services for people that are in. Some people don't need incarceration; they just need some treatment of some kind. Delve into your experiences being a part of the state of Mississippi's correctional and in law enforcement for the years that you have been. Tell us what you have experienced and why you're passionate about mental health services for those that are incarcerated.
Because they are traumatized. Some of the things that they see and witness, um, we wouldn't even survive. Let's just be quite honest with it. So you think about if those persons are incarcerated for whatever amount of months, years, and they are subject to those type of environments every day, all day, and then we want to just open up the doors and put them back out and say, thrive, you should be able to make it. That was one reason. And then actually when being a probation officer, just having people coming in, sitting down, talking to me, I knew it was a little bit more I needed to do besides reporting them in, asking where they work at, I'll see you next month. It was more to that because those people was needing help. You know, it might came time where somebody about to be placed homeless, needed somewhere to stay, just simple trying to get their driver's license or, you know, want to get their social security turned back on. Though that's why my passion, I guess, you know, you got to have it in your heart. And it goes back to actually building a relationship. And let me just say the plain way I could say it, we got to see them as a human and not a number. And that's how I've always treated them, as if they was a human being and not this number that I got to account for each month. So that was one of the reasons I was really passionate about it, or trying to make sure that people, you know, be able to get it. You know, if they need help, they can get help.
Let me ask you another question though, because you know, people, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing like that, but people sit back, you know that they have some problems. You know, some people in Ricky and Pookie and Ray Ray and them, and some other folks have some situations that go on, and there's some people that really need some mental health help, but they don't seek out. They really do need it. I know a couple people that need it, but you know, I was observing some things. And even with knowing you and the information that you share so many times when we talk and we listen, why is it that is this? And I'm going to talk about the state of Mississippi. Get on them. Do the state of Mississippi? Are they providing the resources necessary for you? You know, and I know someone, as you passed on to Patan, I'm pretty sure to someone that has to do this, but you're still affiliated with in law enforcement and doing what you do. Does the state of Mississippi provide the resources necessary to carry out proper mental health services to those people that are incarcerated?
I would say yes and no. But the thing is, you can't force them into it. And that's the thing about once a person turned 18 years old, even though they're incarcerated, you can't force them to go get mental health treatment. Same way when they come out, you can't force anybody once they're over the age of 18. Honestly, you really can't force them at all, actually, to receive the mental health treatment. One of the things I will say, as far as the Department of Mental Health, I did work hand in hand with Executive Director Wendy Bailey. We was, you know, honestly brought the first CIT. I brought the first crisis intervention team training to the correctional facility out at Central Mississippi back in March, where we brought in 15 officers, correctional staff, and trained them on 40 hours of how to deal with persons in a mental health crisis, you know, from de-escalation, suicide attempts, whatever it was. That's what they was able. I'm an instructor for that also, but I brought in some other people and we actually put on that. That's just one of the things I will say, you know, during my tenure there, I was adamant about getting some other kind of training and help for the employees. Because what we also miss, you got to think about those people that's actually supervising and watching the people in prison. If the inmates are having mental health issues, what do you think about the employees that got to live up under that? They
Yeah.
in there also with them, the stresses that
Right.
come from there. So it was
Right.
it was very important to me to make sure I got that part done. And then I
Yes.
will go a little bit further on the other side. Once you get out, I am grateful to say that I can call Director Wendy Bailey over the Department of Mental Health, a dear friend, because we
Okay.
was on the task force with former Attorney General Jim Hood, and we started the first mental health task force. Out of
Wow.
that task force, years down the road, I can't even remember how long it was then. Um, the Department of Mental Health, she didn't stop, and she matriculated up to where she's at now. From where we
Mm.
started at on that task force, she's now the executive director. She never forgot some of the things we talked about, and one of the
Wow.
things was they launched last week the new Mental Health Mississippi. It's an app, and you can
Mm.
download.
Uh-oh, Christine, you. Oh, Christine, I almost lost you.
Hello,
Christine, you still there?
yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The
Okay,
engineer
I'm
got you
sorry.
together. Okay. Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
WKRA.
you can download that app. It's Google or Apple, and it's called
Yes.
Mental Health Mississippi. On
Hmm.
that app, it's everything you need. It's kind of funny. You know how the old phones where you can just kind of roll the roller dial. Well, that's
The
what you
old
take with
phone.
this. Yeah, the old
I'm
phone
just
where
talking.
you
I'm
just
just
go
talking.
where you just go around,
Yeah.
and whatever you need, it has the resources. It has what is mental health. It'll break it down to you, explain it to you.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to if you on this here, go download that app right now, because believe me, it's called Mental Health Mississippi. It's the app on there. It
Yes.
got the crisis services, fine service, additional resource, and then free screening. We
Wow.
don't take advantage of the limited resources. Do we all have the resources we need just to overwhelm us? No, but that's nothing. That's just like we don't have enough money we want. So that, that's how I
Okay.
compare to that. When people say
Okay.
things, no, you're not gonna always
Never
have
have enough
everything you
money.
need.
Never have enough money.
Right.
Yeah.
But we do have some people in places just trying to make sure we got something, to fall back on. But this app, I played around with it. It's user friendly. I mean, you download it, it's user friendly.
All right. Listen, folks, we got Christine Williams that's on the line. I'm going to put, we have a few in our extended minutes that we have. We're going to continue to allow her to talk about this wonderful, wonderful service that she has. And we are here to give you the information and inspiration that you need. And this is part of it. And she was stating, even in our churches and even in our in our community organization, she has been reaching out. And yeah, Pastor, she put you out there, so when you got that big crowd on Sunday, you just holler at James Mack and let him know that thank you for putting your member on. But my thing is that I want to emphasize is someone asked the question, one of our listeners, I think I said what I said. Are you still there? I want to see if she was still there.
Yes,
Okay, she
James,
said,
I'm still here.
okay,
I'm
give
still
your
here,
question to
James.
Christine. She has a question that she has
Okay.
and she wants to ask you. Ask Christine. Go ahead.
Good morning, Christine. I just
Good
wanted to
morning.
know. Good morning. I wanted to know, is the app for Mississippi only, or is it for all states?
The services would be for Mississippi, but some of the things that's on there, like the crisis and resources and free screening, that could be anywhere. But I
Okay.
do know that you can. But if you, one of the things that they will connect you with is 988, which is the suicide crisis line. And that's what I was going to get to then. That's another resource we can use nationwide. Every state has to have a 988 call center. And whatever state that you're in, you have one there. Like Mississippi has 2 call centers. If you're in Louisiana, they have one. Every state, it was mandated from the federal government. 988 is one of the best things I think we could ever come up with, because what it is, it's licensed therapists that's right there on the line that you can call and talk to or pass on to whomever it may be. Because, typically we might not want to discuss this information with the next person, but you can pick up the phone and call a therapist and they can give you some directions, recommendation, and then also provide you some resources too.
So I want to add on and piggyback on what I said. What I said. That's a whole lot of saids. What she said. It is. I had to get it together. That these resources. And I want you to give the website also out to us. We're going to be posting it in our chat. In regular shows and make that a part of our regular repertoire, because there are people beyond this broadcast that and we'll be replaying this broadcast that are going to be reaching out for these services, and to be able to have a resource and have people like Christine to come on to give us this information. Listen, folks, don't be afraid. It's just like when you go to the doctor, you ought to go to get your regular checkup. You ought to go and find out what's going on, your blood pressure and all those other things that we deal with as we not just get older, but in life, period. Our mental health is important too. And especially with the days and times that we're living in. And like she was talking about, COVID really kind of had us in cabin fever, and we weren't doing the original routines that we were doing, and folks was fighting and fussing and carrying on, and all the things that we've been hearing. As we go to our wrap up, I want to give you, Christine, an opportunity to also give us some information once again about the services, the number for the services that are available, and will you come back again and extend this interview? So, because I know that there's a whole lot that you do have to offer. Would you come back? Did I treat you nice?
Yes, sir, I will. I'll always come back for you, Mr. James. No problem. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Now you on.
No, I was going to give you the app for the Department of Mental Health. Again, it is Mental Health Mississippi. If you go to Google or Google Play or Apple, and you just download that app on there, that's all you have to do. And then the 988.com, you can go to 988.com. You can dial that number. You can chat with them. You can text with whatever you comfortable with. They're going to try to accommodate you either way you can. And then all else, go to the Department of Mental Health website. But I think the important thing is for us to educate ourselves with what things are out there throughout the state of Mississippi, or anywhere, not just the state of Mississippi. You can always look for what mental health first aid classes are being given. Most community mental health centers in Mississippi will provide that mental health first aid for you. So that's just some of the things I think it's important. But I will send you this flyer with the 988 and the information about the mental health also.
I want to thank my guest, Christine Williams. She came, and I hope I didn't disturb your retirement, but you ain't retired. No. You still working. And I want to thank her for coming on. She will be back. And I said what I said. I want to thank you for your contributions to the show. Thank everyone that has been participating with us on the air. I really, really thank you very, very much, Christine. You know I owe you. We got to go to Charles or something. They don't know nothing about all that. I ain't gonna tell them all that. We're gonna have to do something. I gotta tell them something. But I want to thank everybody for listening. Listen, this is the end of our day. Be good to somebody, love somebody. It doesn't cost you a dime to be nice. We're gonna have another great show on tomorrow. I'm thanking my guests one more time, Christine. I thank you for all that you're doing.
Welcome,
to all of our chat members and to everybody that's on the morning takeover. My name is James Mack. I'm your man on the street. We're going to get ready to get out of here and make way for some great, make sure that we hear some more great music and some great entertainment on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is James Mack. I'm on my way out of the door. I got my hat and my coat. I got my umbrella too. There is going to be some rain, so y'all get your umbrellas. I'll see you tomorrow on the morning takeover.